There's a story that I heard back in Trinidad. And the story is about these people that are in a church setting of some kind, and worship is happening, quote unquote. Worship is happening. The songs going, the band's there, people are lifting their hands, they're singing, they're dancing, it's on. And while worship is happening, praises are going up, but there's a metal plate, an iron plate between them and heaven. And as their praise go up, hits the metal plate, it turns to bread, it falls down in their midst. Now at the same time, there's a very skinny, maga-looking dog, malnourished, that's walking around and eating this bread as these people are praising and doing their thing and they're eating the bread. And from time to time, you can't see the dog. You don't know where it is. But every time you see the dog again, the dog's bigger. And after a process in time, it's no longer a dog, but it's actually a wolf. And now this wolf is no longer interested in the bread that is falling. This wolf begins to eat and feed on the people in the church. Satan loves devouring us by keeping us blind to those three things. Where we are, where do we need to be, and how we need to get there. He allows us to get wrapped up in just emotionalism. You know, we come to church and we set up and we sing the coolest songs and we try to sing ourselves happy. And we go back out and we regurgitate that again and we come back and we try to sing ourselves happy. And I'm convinced that this is not what God intended. So again, Satan loves devouring us by keeping us blind to those three things. Where are we really? Where do we need to be and how do we need to get there? These three questions are so important, guys, that they are decided upon and reaffirmed by every major church and denomination in the country. If you're privy in being in boardrooms of churches that are mega churches or growing churches, you hear that language. Well, who are we? Who are we as a church? You know, what's our DNA? How do we fit into this community? Where is God trying to take us? What is God trying to do with us? And I believe that Satan is cool with that as long as the worshipers don't get a clue about the answers to those questions for your own selves. He is fine with having purpose and direction for the church, okay? As long as there's no purpose and direction for the church. Because he understands that this is the organism that God counts as the church. 1 Peter 2:5 says that we are all living stones fitted together in the house of God. So even as we gather here, this isn't really the house of God. The bubbles shattered yet? I'm going to keep trying. The word abuse, guys, word abuse, it comes from two words. It's a word construct. Two words put together. And those two words are abnormal and use. When you put abnormal and use together, you get the word abuse. And it simply means you're not using something for which it should normally be used. In other words, you are not using it for the purpose it was created. If you were to ask a pastor, what is the purpose of the worship leaders in the body? Most of them will give you a response about their church. And I guess you can't blame them because they are not trained to know how you fit into God's greatest scheme beyond Sunday morning.